Boys and girls, we just read the story. How are you peeling? I hope you enjoyed seeing what feelings can look like on those fun fruit carvings. Let's talk a little bit about what feelings look like in writing. How are you feeling today? Are you sad, happy, nervous, scared, mad, excited, shocked, embarrassed, tired? Tell me how you're feeling. You can look at the emojis and see which one looks most like you. How can you tell how someone is feeling? Look at these kids. How can you tell how they're feeling? If you said you can look at their face or the way they stand or hold their bodies, you're exactly right. People show their feelings. They don't just walk up to you and say, I'm sad. They might walk up to you like this. Their shoulders are hunched. Their face is turned down. And you know they're sad without them saying it because of their facial expressions and the way they hold their bodies. What are these people feeling and how do you know? I would say these people are all feeling joyful or excited, happy. I can see it in the smiles on their faces and the way they hold their hands. Dancing. We're happy, right? What emotion is this? How can you tell? Right. We can look at their faces and their arms and we can tell how they're feeling. When we're angry, we scrunch our faces up like this and we clench our hands. Our bodies get tight, right? Because we're mad. Those people are feeling angry. How are these people feeling? What do you see that tells you that? These people are all feeling tired, aren't they? One girl is yawning. Another boy is rubbing his eyes. Sometimes we do that when we're tired. They put their heads down. Those are ways to show that you're tired. Let's act out some feelings. Gosh, I wish we were together for this. I would love to play this game with you, but I hope you'll still do it at home because it is pretty fun. Okay, show me shocked. When we're shocked or it's a little more than surprised, right? Our mouth drops open, our eyes pop wide, our eyebrows are arched, they go up. We might put our hands on our cheeks and we might gasp. That's shocked. Let's act out this feeling. Show me tired. Tired could look like a big yawn, eyes closed, body is slumped. You might rub your eyes. You might drop your head. Those all show someone is tired. Pretend to be feeling mad. Your eyes narrow, your eyebrows go down. You might clench your teeth, like grit them together. You might make fist and scrunch your nose up. Those things all show that you are mad. Try this feeling. Show me scared. You might throw up your hands. You might nibble your nails. You might shiver with fear. You may even peek through your fingers. That's what I sometimes do when I watch really scary movies. I peek through my fingers. So, what does this have to do with writing? Authors use words to show how characters feel. Instead of saying, I was sad, you might say, my lower lip quivered and my eyes welled with tears. So much more powerful than just saying, I was sad. You're describing what the character or yourself looks like so that when the reader sees it, They can picture it and they just know how you're feeling. Which would you rather read? 1, I was so happy. Or 2, a smile spread across my face and my eyes lit up like stars. Choice 2 is a much better description of someone who is happy. It lets us picture it as a reader and decide for ourselves what the character is feeling. Choice 1, which would you rather read? Choice 1, I clenched my fists and breathed heavily, gritting my teeth. I scowled. Or that made me really mad. Right, choice 1 is some beautiful writing. I can tell this person is getting very angry by their body language and the facial expression that the author describes. Number 1, I was shocked. Or 2, my mouth dropped open wide and I gasped. My eyes almost popped out of my head. Which would you rather read? I'd much rather read number 2. It's a great description. And guess what? I know that this person is incredibly surprised or shocked because of their facial expressions that are described. One, that was so embarrassing. Or 2, my face felt hot and I hung my head hoping no one would look at me. Oh, this is exactly how I feel when I feel embarrassed. My face gets red. I kind of look down. I don't want to make eye contact with anyone. The author describing that tells me it was embarrassing, and this is way more descriptive to read. In your next story, be sure that you show how your characters are feeling instead of just telling us. Your readers will be much more entertained. Let's look at some examples. Sentence 1, Carmen was sad. This tells the reader how the character's feeling. It just says it. Carmen was sad. It tells them. This next example shows Carmen hung her head. Her eyes filled with tears and her lip began to quiver. This is showing how it feels. Telling, Brooks was excited. Or showing, Brooks jumped up and down with a huge smile on his face. His eyes were big and wide. He took off running around the bases, clapping high fives as he went. What great description. That is showing us how Brooks feels instead of just telling us. I want you to tell me, does it show a character's feelings with detail, or does it just tell how they feel? I stared down at my shoes, afraid that if I looked up, I might cry. My face was red and I wanted to hide inside my hoodie. If you said the author is showing you how I felt, you were correct. We have examples of what I did with my face and my body to show that I was upset. Listen to number 2 and tell me, is it showing or telling how Ryan feels? Ryan took a deep breath, blew it out, and tried to stop her shaking legs. She closed her eyes and plunged into the water from the high dive. Does that show us how she feels, or does it just tell us? You're right. It shows us how she feels. If it said Ryan was nervous, that would be telling, but this is showing. We know what Ryan does with her body and her face, and that tells us how she's feeling. Number 3, before I knew it, I was boiling mad. Does that show or tell how I was feeling? You're right. This just tells us how the author was feeling. We're going to do 2 more. Number 4, Sebastian went into the room and was sad when his best friend was nowhere to be found. Does that show or tell us how Sebastian is feeling? While there are some decent details in this sentence, this just tells us that Sebastian was sad. Oh, if Sebastian went into the room hanging his head low with tears in his eyes, we would know he was sad and we would have shown how he felt instead of told. Last one. Gabe grinned from ear to ear as he realized his best friend was on the team. This doesn't tell me that Gabe is happy, but it shows me because I can picture him grinning from ear to ear with a great big smile on his face. And I know that when you grin like that, you're happy. That is good showing. Remember, good authors show feelings rather than tell them. We'll keep talking about the different kinds of details we can use as authors tomorrow. See you there.